Electric Lodge presents Notes from the Underground with Josh Berkowitz, where we talk to alternative storytellers, comedians, dancers, musicians, poets, and filmmakers about life, art, and we may just talk about nothing at all. Recorded live from Soul Journey Studios in Venice Beach, California.
Is this live? This is live, right?
Yeah, they're all listening to it right now. Right. All right, so we're here with a few members from Wet The Hippo Collective. There's a lot of them, but we got three important members. Two from the Merge, one of the first groups that formed, and then also from Deep Squeeze. So we have Ian Bracci from the Merge. I hope I said your last name right.
Yeah, Bracci.
Wow.
You got it. Very good. Josh Berkowitz.
Yeah, exactly. And then Lucia Breezy.
Oh, no,
that
was everything wrong. Totally
Lucia
wrong
Breezy.
a million ways.
Yeah, will you pronounce it right for the...
As in like chia pet or chia seed, which is much better reference. Breezy, like pizza, but
nice.
C.
How do you feel about it that I didn't... I haven't... A lot of the interviewees, I haventhen been able to pronounce their names right.
I could see it from a mile away that you were going to say it wrong.
You could tell I was nervous in the parking lot. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, right. And then we have Sean Stoner.
Yeah, Stoner.
That's how you got the Stoner.
From
very difficult
from
name.
Deep Squeeze. I love both these groups. I don't know if you guys know how I first came across Wet The Hippo Collective, but I was just here one night on a Friday night, like almost a year and a half ago, and somebody's like, "There's this group, and they all wear turtlenecks, and we're gonna go to downtown." And I almost didn't go, and this was before I was booking any of the shows here or anything. And I went down there, and I had always been looking for a weird hybrid of improv, clown, and performance art. And it was all fucking there. And I was like, who the hell are these guys? And Michael Soldati was like standing at the door, and he looked like some hipster from Bushwick, from Brooklyn.
Love Michael
that I knew.
Soldati.
And I'm like, hey man, who are these people? Like, and he like gives me his card, and he's like, I could arrange, for you guys to. And so they ended up coming. So the Simple Simples ended up coming last February, and that was 13 months ago.
Wow.
Oh wow,
that's a great meet cute through Michael Soldati.
Yeah, through Michael Soldati. Thank God for him.
Soldati.
Yeah, absolutely. So, I want to talk about your guys' groups and where you came across Idiot Work. And were you all comedians before you came across Idiot Work, or were you doing comedy?
Trying to
be
funny constantly,
and not having the right forum to do it.
I'll just speak for me, Guy, because I'm talking right now.
Right.
But yeah, no, for sure. I had been doing improv for forever, and then I had tried stand up, but nothing hit me the way when I saw the first show, and I was like, oh fuck, this is so different. It's so exciting. And like other people have said this too. It sort of feels like Fight Club when you watch, like they're all sweaty and crazy, and you feel nervous about it in a good way.
Right. Yeah, that's amazing. Yeah. What about you guys?
I'm from Chicago. I was there for like 6 years. So I did like Second City in Chicago and I.O. in Chicago and a bunch of comedy there. And then I love the Chicago comedy scene. It's a great place to learn and to come up. And after I came out here, I left all my friends and the comedy scene there, and I was trying to find. I went through Groundlings, and I went through, which was actually where Lucia and I met almost 3 years ago.
Oh wow, yeah.
Randomly, and then I also did UCB, and neither of them. I like Groundlings a lot. UCB, it wasn't for me. And the improv scene out here just kind of it was a little more competitive, not as much of a family as what I was used to in Chicago.
Right.
And then I heard through Jet Evelith, who is another clown she's doing Absinthe right now. She's fantastic. But she was like, go meet this guy, John Gilkey. I think he's going to be great for you. And I went and I saw one of their shows and I fell in love with it immediately. And
why do you think they said that? Like, what was it, something about your style that needed a different...
Yeah, I've always been like much more outlandish, I guess, and kind of crazy. And much more physical comedy than like a talking head, which I think can excel much more at like a UCB.
Yeah, I can't do it at all. Like I can't do improv, like be clever and topical. Not my humor.
And it's just not that fun to watch.
Yeah, not so much.
It's like a high stakes dinner conversation with people who might be a little smarter than you, but like really they're not.
It's a great way to describe it. Shitty improv. Yeah. What about you, Sean?
Well, I've never pursued comedy as like its own thing. Like, oh, now I want to do comedy for a long time. And I guess
coming from like a theater background, I feel like I was trained to do both, like drama and comedy.
Yeah.
And then I've always been incredibly attracted to physical acting in general.
Yeah.
And so when I came to LA, I felt like I was missing that. I was one, missing live performance, and two, missing physical acting. And so a friend of a friend moved here and invited me to a Wet the Hippo show, and I went and saw it, and I was like, holy shit, this is what I've been looking for. This is it. And because the first show that I saw it was incredibly hilarious, but also had those moments of, whoa, this is now getting real or deep or emotional somehow. And just like it hit me on every level, and I was like, this is it. And then I had another friend who started taking the class and said to me, dude, you got to take it. It's incredible.
Oh, that's wonderful.
And so that was kind of my first introduction to Wet the Hippo idiot work.
Right. What I love is when it gets real. And there was one particular show that I liked. It was there's many moments I could talk about from Deep Squeeze too. It's like, but there was a moment from The Merge first that I wanted to process where Kevin Krieger was talking about his older brothers bullying him.
Oh yeah.
And it was the first time I got to see you, Ian, in action, where you were like, yeah, Kevin, that's really awesome. That's like really sad story. Sorry. you're like, oh yeah, really
too bad, Kev.
Right.
Is this a comedy show or not? I enjoy reminding people.
Yeah, I think that's part of what we like about it. It's just like those who are attracted to it are game to fuck with each other, and I think that comedy is supposed to be that, but oftentimes it's not that. And like the whole idea of the idiot for me is like we're the dumbest person in the room, we're the lowest person in the room, and like being willing to be that for each other, and like we welcome being fucked with by each other.
Yeah, right. Do you guys ever hurt each other's feelings a little bit?
Man, I don't think so, but sometimes when we hurt, never too much on stage, but you can get close, but we love each other so much. It's like if you're messing with your sister, you know what button you can press and like what people, take seriously. I think the hardest thing is because Gilkey directs so much of it, and he often says something for us to play against. So he'll be like, don't sit in that chair. And your job is to sit in that chair, and Gilkey's going to get mad at you and blah, blah, blah. But sometimes he's like, no, don't go sit in that chair. And he literally means don't go over there and sit in that chair.
That is tough with the red clown, is when the red or the white clown, excuse me. Yeah, when they're really like when they want you to rebel, or when they literally are like, no, that's just not fucking funny.
It's like it's like trying to be a bad kid, like get into the mindset of like wanting to be the bad kid. Also, I will say that like in terms of fucking with each other, we know what we're playing with. Like we're playing a thing that we're asking others to fuck with. Yeah. So it's not like I just randomly start talking to Ian about something that might not be anything to do with his stage persona and being mean about it. That just wouldn't work, and it would just be mean. So
right. Yeah, and it's funny. I was going to several Deep Squeeze shows in a row at the Lyric. Yeah. There was something about the stage pictures that were set up as a bit smaller group. I don't know if there'd be. By the way, both groups, Deep Squeeze and The Merge, will be at Unplugged tomorrow night, which is awesome.
Come check it out.
Without phones. No, you guys won't have phones either, right?
No phones.
Yes.
Wait, I don't get it.
You don't know about this?
Nah, I'm just showing up,
Unplug.
Unplug. You're going to check your phone at the door.
That makes sense. That's why it's called that.
Because he takes all our photographs.
I see now.
Yeah.
Super pumped.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I was just going to say, there was something... You did some great hip gyrating at one of the shows, and your face was really snarly.
Oh, cool!
You got really horny with the audience one time.
Sean's a real sexy guy.
Really
I think so.
I mean, his voice, I'm sure, sounds sexy right now, but boy, is he a beautiful man.
Yeah, there's two attractive gingers in this room. Yeah, he's a little less of a ginger. He calls himself a little more strawberry blonde.
I got the ginger beard.
Yeah, ginger beard.
I got a little bit of red in my beard.
Sean was telling me that gingers get on him because he's not like fair skinned.
Yeah, so like non-gingers go, oh, you're absolutely a ginger. And true gingers go, yeah, right. Who the fuck do you think you are?
Yeah, where's your pale skin and freckles?
Just because you can be out in the sun.
And then I tell them, I go, well, I have red pubes, so it works out.
Yeah, well, I have red pubes too.
Right. So to me, you're a true ginger.
Yeah, it's about the
Was
pubes.
Now it's funny, and you guys are in clown context, but was being ginger tough as a kid? Were you?
No, not for me specifically.
No, there was a fire crotch thing that it was like so. Man, that's intense to call a kid a fire crotch.
Well, and I think because I think Lucia's point is correct. Like because I didn't have the like stereotypical pale skin and like red hair.
We got a fair skinned one here. Be careful what
but
you talk about.
lighter red. Yeah, lighter red.
More blonde.
Right. Yeah. So because I didn't have that combination, because my skin is a little darker than incredibly pale.
That's about the only way you can describe your white ass.
It's just a little.
Hey Sean, do you envy like if you were paler? Do you think you'd be funnier?
No, not at all.
Okay.
I don't
Strong
think,
statement.
Well, I think people should be comfortable in their physical appearance, and if however you're most comfortable, you'll be most funny.
I'm always most comfortable, also most funny with my legs like spread.
Yeah, I've seen
That's
you.
true.
Yeah,
I feel like that's like it's weird. It's like become a thing in my normal life that I don't notice.
Yeah.
How much I am just really pelvically centered.
Yeah.
And
that's good for stage work and other things.
Yeah, I think that it's actually like weirdly, it weirdly seems like a statement when a woman like puts her legs up.
I want to talk briefly about, because we'll talk about it on another podcast, but I want to talk briefly about a couple. We'll plan it. But Lucia has a lot of other work. You did a power walk or something at where was this at?
Power Move.
A power move
workshop.
It was for like confidence and things like that.
Yes.
Yeah.
So that's the other world that I straddle, like physically with my legs open.
There's the old pelvic move.
Yeah. It's so my mom has had this company for 30 years, leadership training, and it's like more and more become women's leadership training. And as you know, I've grown up working for her, and now I'm sort of getting to do it on my own and utilizing tools from the acting world and the idiot world and improv world to help people like step into their power and feel it physically, and also like just leadership training. Mm-hmm. So I'm super like into all the embarrassing stuff like personal growth and coaching and
hippie.
I know. Where does
I dare you say that in
Venice?
Venice. We're in Venice, man. You live
here.
I might be the biggest hippie.
Always arriving barefoot.
I'm the only one sitting in sandals here.
Smell like weed too.
Yeah.
Yep.
What?
Yep. Right. Ian always arrives like so Venice. I don't know if this is Venice. I don't want to make assumptions, but he always arrives like he's a grown-up guy. He's like a child who just got to be big. Like he arrives like late, smelling like weed with a bunch of candy.
Yeah, I love candy.
Always
what kind
has
of
a
candy
bunch
you
of
like?
candy.
Dude, I love all candy, but I'm more of like a sweet candy guy than a
Skittles
chocolate
and
kind of guy.
Starbursts?
I'm all about gummies, and I'm all about like sour gummies, but they need to be the right sour gummies because there's those like they have to be those see-through more, not like the solid colored gummies, like the neon ones.
Oh, you don't like
those?
those?
Are nasty. I like Sour Patch Kids. I can do. Or
I've
like
never seen you so excited.
Sour Punch straws. Yeah, you can talk about candy for a whole hour.
Right, I do know what you mean by the see-through. Like if you're at a movie and it's dark, you can't see if it's an orange or a red, and there's a big
in the movie.
There's big fucking difference.
See, I don't think I've ever eaten
difference in taste.
candy individually. I'm like, I'll take a handful of Starburst and throw them in my mouth.
What? No,
Maybe not Starburst, but definitely like Sour Patch Kids. I don't eat one Sour Patch Kid at a time.
Don't
I eat
they
like
have
4.
Don't they now have sour Starburst?
Oh yeah, they got sour everything. Sour Mambas are the best. We want to talk Mambas, we can talk Mambas.
Sour Skittles makes me sweat a little bit.
Yeah, they tear up your mouth too.
Yeah, that's the problem with
tear up the side of your cheek.
candy.
Yeah, and like the top of your mouth there.
Yeah.
Well, Sean is like allergic to spice, which we're
Oh, me too, man. I hate
God.
spice.
Oh wait,
Well, here's the
allergic
thing.
to spice?
No,
or you
I'm
hate
not allergic.
spice?
so embarrassing.
Here's the
It's
thing.
humiliating.
Excuse me. Here's the thing.
It truly is. Sorry, guys, we're dating. That's why I'm fucking.
Oh, awesome.
We are dating.
Yeah, hot couple here. Yeah.
Good.
Here's the thing about spice. I love the flavor, but I can't take the heat a lot of the time. So like jalapeno has a very nice flavor to
I've
it.
never eaten a jalapeno. Yeah,
But like if you remove the heat from jalapeno, the flavor is real nice.
Like the jalapeno
Yeah.
chips.
Literally no point.
Yeah,
You do
it's
that?
super nice.
The
Yeah.
point is
Yeah.
the heat. The point is feeling like you're dying, feeling
Right.
yourself
Yeah.
alive.
I don't like
what
that
is it
feeling.
about it that you and I can't have spice? You know, what's up with that? My dad can handle spice.
Yeah,
It
my
should be
dad
in the
too.
genes that
Yeah.
we can handle spice.
I'm pretty sure my dad's like ruined his taste buds forever because he just
Wow.
wants so much spice on
I
everything.
feel like it grow like spice is one of those things that as you get older, you might enjoy more. Not
Yeah,
like
maybe-
necessarily. I'm not a big spice guy
Right.
myself,
I think
but
it's
I have
endorphins.
found that
I think
it's
it's
gotten
peop-
better.
I would say I think it's people who crave endorphins. I like super
Interesting.
hot baths that make me feel like I'm
Yeah.
gonna burn to death. I like cryogenic freezing. I like ocean jumping. I like intensity.
Wait.
Sean
Yeah.
is like
Tins-
mellow.
Cryogenic
I'm a
freezing.
little more
You don't
mellow.
have like you don't get a hit.
Cryotherapy.
What's that?
Cryogenic freezing. Like
Cryotherapy, where you stand in cold.
Oh,
and
I
you
thought
feel
the
like you're dying.
cryobank was where you
Yeah,
give
but
sperm.
you said a bunch.
right?
I like jumping out of planes, going fast on
I would jump out of
motorcycles.
You
and,
jumped
like-
out of planes?
Oh, I've jumped out of a plane.
You
I,
like
I won't
endorphins.
do that. I'm
do, but
a
you
nervous
just described
boy.
very different things.
I'm a fan of endorphins too, but I think to me in the right ways.
So
So she does the right. You like all sorts of it.
no, because Sean
Right ways
takes
for me.
Sean likes warm like water that's like tepid warm.
No, I
You
like
and I are so similar,
Well,
man.
here's the thing. I like hot water. Lucia
not to
likes
burn. Yeah.
scalding water.
Yeah.
That's
yeah,
the difference.
That's,
Yeah.
I guess we're just seeing who's hot.
Wait, but you're from where? You're Latina,
from-
right?
Oh, I wish.
No?
Greasy.
I'm Italian, but yeah, because I'm Italian, like I always had like hot pepper and garlic and stuff.
I'm Jewish, so I have a bad stomach, and I've been talking about it all week. I was literally, Lincoln Boulevard,
Oh,
close
yeah.
to here. I was 10 minutes away from this place, and I had to shit so
Let's
bad.
talk shit.
Is this the whole?
Let's talk about-
this is the whole series. Of the
Yeah,
last
we just talk about
episodes.
life. We don't talk about performance.
No, but
Yeah.
I mean, like, just talking about your
About
bowels.
bowels. Yeah, this is for this week. That's the series. Yeah. And I ran, and people recently, so many people have seen me running. My boss saw me from the office. He's like, "Hey, Josh, let's talk about something." And I was running to the bathroom, not
Okay.
to talk to him.
You might have a condition. We can.
Well, I've
talk
been eating
afterwards.
better recently.
Good for you.
Yeah.
Good.
Have you crapped your pants as an adult?
I get scared. You know that moment when you're driving and there's no bathroom in sight?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're
Oh,
pretty
yeah.
sure
Yeah,
it's
I was
over.
canvassing for Barack Obama, and I went to the bathroom on someone's lawn.
You wait, shut? Yeah,
story.
Shat or pee?
Yeah, I went number 2. I had to. They
my
dropped me off in these locations.
They did not vote for
They
Obama.
drop you off in these random locations in Long Island, and you have to walk around, and you can't ask anyone to go inside their house because they're already like annoyed that you're knocking on their door at dinner time.
That's
so
how you turn-
I had to go to the bathroom on someone's lawn, but it was a bunch of like shitty Republicans. So whatever.
And they will stay Republicans for the rest of their lives
Because they
you
watched you
shit on their lawn.
That's
No, of course.
I got a half
it was in the
bush
bushes.
action, like a little
You
bit of a
guys,
bush.
This is my problem. Like I
What?
feel
You
like,
shit in bushes?
no, that I'm telling anybody like on like a who knows how many people could be hearing this. Oh, also the first time I ever made out with somebody was the
Can
first
we
time
not
I.
talk about that?
Yeah, he's getting really jealous.
Yeah, this is going to be a total turn off. I don't know, deal breaker. The first time I made out with somebody, it was also the first time I got drunk, and we were in the backyard of my friend's party, and we rolled around, and I was like a super hippie. I thought it was fun, and came back into the party, and my whole back was covered in shit.
Oh,
So then I was shit back for the last year of high
Shit
Is that
back.
traumatic a little bit? I mean, you don't
It
seem
was-
like a very trauma-ridden person. You seem very open, but
super embarrassing. But I think that I think all of us are kind of masochists for shame and embarrassment.
oh yeah,
You know?
So how
yeah,
old were you
yeah.
when this happened?
I was a sophomore in college, high school.
So,
High
yeah,
school.
sophomore high school is when
All
things
my
got
friends- yeah,
going.
yeah.
for
I was a
lot of
little.
us, I think.
I was a little perv, way young.
Yeah,
I mean, I was
Oh.
late.
Oh, me too, man. That's nice.
Man,
Yeah,
I
what-
skipped
tell
the
me
whole.
about
I
your
skipped
stuff.
the whole hand job fingering stage. I went straight for the munch.
Okay, so was it?
I mean, honestly, like,
never-
way too young. Way too like when everyone else was maybe gonna start like giving hand jobs, and I should maybe not talk about this, but
That's great.
It's like how babies always like they put stuff in their mouths to like really get to know it.
right, exactly. So I'm like
Yeah,
a smart
you had to-
baby
Oh
who
my
had
God.
to put
True.
vagina in his
Yeah,
mouth
for-
as
for-
early as possible.
Yeah, let's talk about first.
Squeezing the murders.
Well, I'll talk about kisses for a second early on. You know, everyone chews gum as a middle schooler, you know? So you put out your gum with the other person who agrees to kiss you, like it's like a plan.
Damn,
like
that's cordial.
I'm gonna get a note from my mom, and I'm gonna go on your bus. We're gonna go in your basement.
What?
Somebody's gonna push it. This is the plan of like first makeout session. Okay. It's a ritual, and then the two other friends are there and they're more experienced and they send you into the room, the bedroom in the basement.
Great friends.
Yeah. And then you both take your gum out and you try to kiss and you miss and you go the wrong. Yeah.
My problem. I had a problem. Sorry.
No, you can go.
Yeah. Somebody who had
I was just gonna note from your mom. What?
Not about that it's the first kiss. No, note for the bus to get permission to go on some other lady's bus.
I was like,
some other lady's bus.
No. That's a very organized
note
school
from your mom that's like, please make out with my son today. It will be his first kiss.
Wouldn't be surprised, right?
So I had a problem with it. It's just that I liked one boy who didn't like me.
Oof.
So, and I was like just so devoted. So I was like turning down left and right all these middle school boys to make out. So that's why it took me so long. And he never wanted me because I was terrifying and in love with him since second grade.
You've always been an alpha female, I first see.
Thank you.
Right, and that comes with a lot of good stuff, and I think other women are probably threatened by it.
Thank you. I don't know if that's true. I feel like
you tell me.
I don't know
your experience.
It's weird. No, but I think it's like not knowing your power. You know what I mean? Because when I was younger, I probably didn't think that, but I probably was.
Yeah,
I probably thought I was.
I'm a Jewish alpha male, but definitely not like a junkyard. I'll fight you in the street alpha male. No way.
I think it is hard being a strong female in terms of that kind of stuff, though, too, because you have to play coy sometimes. Except for Sean likes me as aggressive as I could be.
Yeah, and you're sweet. Sean's really sweet.
Oh, but he's also got some fire.
Sweet.
Yeah,
he's beautiful. Yeah. I mean, Sean's really just the perfect man.
He is great.
We want to talk about you.
I'm just pretty upset that Lucia snagged Sean before I could.
He's good at trampolining.
I've had my eye on him for a long time.
You both have your arm around.
Yeah, they're hugging each other. Got their arms around each other. Josh, you want to move over here, buddy?
Yeah, we can talk about it. I noticed how large you were as a man when I saw you today.
Holy shit, you're fat as can be.
No, like large, like just strapping. Are you Jewish?
I am not Jewish. I play Jews quite frequently.
Yeah.
I get away. I can get away with Jewish.
The first time I met you was on the truck, the greatest truck thing. And I was stuck in the back, and you were going wild in that truck, and I didn't like it that much because it was scary.
Yeah, no, I should never be inside like a truck with a bunch of
lot of things
in a small space.
I like danger. I mean, but I guess I like danger when I'm the one like setting it up.
When you're in control.
Yeah, I'm totally control problem for sure. So I was in the back and you were going nuts in there. You were one of the sidekicks for the greatest truck show ever. And you were flopping around in this truck and I thought it was going to tip over.
Yeah, well, I got a big bod. And
got a lanky bod.
I got a big bod. I got a good belly when I need it. And Gilkey, like we're
talking about the belly. Gilkey, talk about the belly.
I when I perform, I have a very like hunched shoulders in on themselves, hunched over, and because it then creates the biggest belly possible.
Right.
Bellies are funny.
They are. Also, asthma is apparently super funny.
Yeah, apparently.
Who's got asthma?
I got asthma, man. Gilkey loves nothing more than to put me in a like physically strenuous position, take my shirt off or whatever else off, and then hold me there. So I just start sweating profusely. I turn red as can be. And I usually kind of play up maybe sometimes like how tired I get, but sometimes I do have asthma. And like Tuesday night we had an open rehearsal and I legit had to be like, yo, someone has to toss me my inhaler like in the middle of it.
Oh, fuck. So it got serious for a second.
Kinda. I don't know. I mean, it's not. I've never had to like go to the hospital for asthma, but I've always had asthma. But it's sports-induced asthma is what they called it. And now it's not sports-induced. It's idiot-induced asthma.
It's like moving.
If I move too much. And it's what I try
don't
to do.
like not being able to breathe.
Oh, man.
And I smoke cigarettes, so that's a problem.
Yeah. It's not breathing is the worst.
Yeah. I will say that seeing you in those physically hard positions, and watching you suffer is hilarious.
Yeah.
Gilkey's
Yeah.
right.
It works.
There's something about, and I'm
He
sure
always
some
knows.
people hate it, but for others, I feel like a lot of the audience is really intrigued by
Yeah.
it somehow.
Yeah.
'Cause there was that one night when you took all of your clothes off, and
I was there and I.
Oh,
yeah,
I think I've seen
Lucia
you.
was
I
there.
took my.
I think
clothes off
I've
too,
seen-
Sean.
Did, yeah.
Yeah.
But you
when
were
I
just,
manginaed that one.
yeah, the mangina,
Yeah.
and after you were just like standing against the wall, still manginaed, but you were. It seemed like you were in so much
Yeah,
pain.
I was, man. You cannot.
so
let
funny.
me tell you something about a mangina. You can tuck it up back and play it for a bit, but if you have to stand, Gilkey had me up there for like 20 minutes.
Yeah, it was
With
a
the
and
lot.
I was
mangina?
sweating in the
front of your
mangina,
parents.
and my parents were there also.
How'd they feel about
Oh
it?
well,
They
we
got him on
ended up
stage.
getting up on stage. It was
So cool.
ridiculous.
Wait, next to your mangina?
Next to me and my mangina.
We can post the picture. We'll send it to you.
That sounds
And-
great. Yeah.
And yeah, but I was so afraid, but I could hear you, and you were sitting next to Joel Axelrod.
Axelrod, yeah.
I could hear them in the corner giggling the whole time, and I knew they were looking at me. And I was sweaty too, so things could have popped back out, and it was just.
That's awesome. Yeah. We just played
Yeah,
footsie. Sorry, Lucy.
Sorry, I didn't.
Watch out,
Oh,
Chi
no, that's
Chi.
fine. No, but I was just thinking about how there is that thing of what I think we all crave, that zone state. And when things are good, it feels like you get into a zone state where you don't have a choice, and in a good way. So it's not
Right.
like, am I embarrassed to get fully naked and mangina in front of my parents? There's no
Yeah.
logic. It's just
Right.
like, this is the thing that happens, and it's
Yeah.
not even a choice. And that's
right,
when
right.
it's good. When it's not
Yeah.
good, it's like, I'm making choices and they aren't funny. But
Yeah.
I think for me, like when it feels like we're in the zone, it's like, it's of course what happens.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, I had a nudity phase for a while in Brooklyn, and but I would get naked at like hipster bars that were like really anarchist. So everyone was getting naked, so it just wasn't as like exciting. It was- everyone
At a
was just
bar.
naked. At
My
a
brother-
bar.
my brother-
I've
spent us
never gotten naked. No, I just
At a
never gotten
bar?
naked at a bar.
Yeah, it was a French bar, so the rules of
What was
the
the bar called?
Bazaar bar.
Okay.
You-
Because I'm from the East Coast. I lived in New York for a while.
Bushwick. Yeah,
My
it's kinda
brother spent, like, I remember one summer there wasn't a night that he didn't end up with his shirt off. So I
Yeah.
just felt like maybe you were in the same communities.
Yeah, it was weird there. I mean, I wanted to ask you guys about, right, you're talking about like the labor and the difficulty, and it's not, I mean, what you guys are doing, it's not improv, it's not clown, and it's not performance art. It's somewhere in between those. Do you have any definitions of what idiot work is?
And that's one of the hardest things
Yeah.
to do, and that's something we all struggle with as a group, even.
Yeah, and John, my boss asked John, like, what is it you guys are doing? And John's like, I don't know. I'm like, oh, that's a great.
That's the
great
best.
what you guys are doing.
I think, I feel like the way I talk about it is like we go with the intention of fucking shit up, like fuck up the expectations of what it's supposed to be, and like that's how I've been talking about it, because I think I also like have a aversion to like naming, and I think that so does John, and I feel like that's part of the whole thing is like
Right.
not defining it, letting it be discovery every time.
Right.
No fourth wall is an important factor.
Yeah, absolutely.
It is a performance.
It is a
Yeah.
performance.
Right.
Ultimately, we were trying to be funny,
Yeah,
hoping
Yeah,
that it's
right.
funny. Ultimately,
Right.
Right. That seems to be the that's enough parameters where it's not performance art.
and no fourth wall. I mean, that's
Yeah,
honestly,
yeah.
it's about whenever I
right.
try to describe it, I have to go to Gilkey first, and I have to say, well, because it's his baby.
Right. Right.
I mean,
of
What the
course.
Hippo, and then because of
Totally.
that merge.
Well, he left Cirque du Soleil
Yeah,
to
and-
do this.
and
I
he
mean,
was-
or, you know,
so
decided
well
something.
respected, and he
Right.
for him to have taken this is what he wanted to do is he had all that talent. And he's he's a genius, and he decided to do this school and this program, and he started this group of
It's
people. I
fucking
mean,
tough. I
it's
mean,
amazing,
to
though.
keep this thing together, to
Yeah.
really fight to, you know, and so I have a lot of respect for it. It's always an uphill climb because it isn't a definable thing. So it's you guys have to keep generating, you know, new classes, new material, you know, or just keep doing the shows over and over.
and we're
again.
really pushing too, Gilkey, and that we want musicians. We want any
Yeah,
form of
I'm trying to
artist,
help
really.
with the dancers and the,
dancers and musicians,
Right.
because really it's not like Sean was saying, he, you know, coming from more of a theater background, like you don't have to come from any one background.
Right.
You don't have to have
Right.
any comedy experience.
Yeah.
I mean, one of my favorite,
Well-
Joe Mitchell,
yeah.
who is just
Yeah.
so damn funny.
Yeah, I wanted Joe to be here today.
Oh, my
'cause
God.
I really enjoy him.
Joe's
yeah.
just,
he's
and
great.
because Joe doesn't play a character, Joe
Yeah.
is just himself, and
Yeah.
Joe wasn't like a performer before all this.
normal reaction.
It's just he is just such a funny
That's actually
human being. It doesn't matter.
I feel like that's super key. Like the whole idea of not being a performer. Like I was thinking about this a lot, about how we'll bring people on stage and we always look for, like, whenever we're doing in any comedy scenario, when you bring someone on stage, you kind of look for someone who's not a performer, because you're like, oh, they'll be open to having a genuine experience and they won't be doing a thing. And then I was thinking, how sad is it that performers like that gets trained out of you or something. So I think that, I feel like that's something we aim for and work for, is like that availability of not doing a bit, not performing,
Right.
just being an idiot.
Yeah.
Idiot.
It's hard.
Yeah. Okay. I have. I've been prefacing this. I said it with the lady idiots the other day. And I keep prefacing it this way. My therapist gave me a.
He's licking a
because I can't
lifesaver.
chew this into the mic. You know, I have a mint. Everybody.
Professional.
Is it Winto green or regular?
Winto green.
Yeah,
Very
dude.
nice. Right. Without,
Well
that's our
done.
taste. Not spice, but Winto green. Fine.
Nice.
Yeah.
Fucking
Oh, you
nerds.
smell
Bunch of fucking nerds.
you like your sour patch
I like my
Kids.
I'm cool. I like Sour Patch Kids.
The rough side of the street. Yeah. So, yeah. Humor. I was thinking about humor recently. It's funny because I'm more, I mean, I pull you guys over, but like I have, like tonight is the Lady Idiots.
Yeah.
And I was like, I'm going to support an all women's idiot show.
Good for you.
Right.
You live another
that's-
day.
Right. And I live another day. And there's dancers and artists here. And so it's a lot of artsy shit, and so, for me, like humor, for some reason, I was doing these value cards that my therapist gave me and I wouldn't do them for a while. And finally it was like, all right, eliminate all the value flashcards that aren't yours. And then the last two things that came were passion, but then humor got number one. And I'm like, I'm not pursuing a comedy career.
Yeah.
So why is humor the most important thing to me? So I want to ask the three of you each, what is humor on the deepest level?
Oh, fuck.
That's a good question.
That is a great question. I think
Turning up the heat.
for me recently, I don't know, I've been getting into like this spiritual, non-spiritual realm with it. And the idea that we're all fools is something that I really love, this idea that like we take ourselves so seriously sometimes. And isn't that the most funny thing? Like when somebody's taking themselves so seriously and you're like,
That's why
"Dude."
Gene Wilder was so good, man.
Right. Like, and I think that,
Right.
that to me, that is humor. Humor to me, like, is everything. Perhaps life is a joke in a sense. You know what I mean? Like,
Oh yeah.
and so for me, I think it becomes this idea that humor is almost all we have at the end of the day. In that, like, I don't know. I find myself getting so like wrapped up in things that eventually just don't matter.
Yeah.
And that I absolutely forget about.
And then every time I'm taking something seriously, you laugh at me.
Right. That does happen every now and then.
Often,
I do laugh
all day.
not all day. but because sometimes it's like, why are we worried about that? Like in general, like as humans or as whatever, like it's just sometimes things are
What kind of
so
stuff
laughable.
do you worry about on a daily basis?
What kind of stuff do I worry about? Often it's money.
Oh my God, so many of us, right?
Yeah. And then
figures.
and then all of a sudden you have like $200 extra and you don't worry about money for a week and you're like,
right.
and then yeah, you laugh at it because you're like, why was I so worried about money a week ago?
We're right around. Well, it's beginning of March, so I was the last week. I'm like, oh man, who am I gonna have to talk to get my rent paid?
Right,
guy.
yeah, exactly.
Who am I gonna have to play?
Humor. Sorry, I'm just getting my voice ready for profound wisdom. I would say that, I think it is. It's the absurdity. It's the absurdity of life, and it's. Am I supposed to define what humor is right now? Is that the question at hand?
Yeah. Give me a little
This is
definition.
Fantastically challenging.
Good.
I would say it is. It's like the meeting point behind something that is 100% true and something that was 100% like delusional. Like we feel like I'm so mad I got a parking ticket and my life sucks, and that's a real feeling. And then it's like the delusion hits it, where it's like I am a white chick in like really nice clothes and yoga gear who just came out of cycling class who's like crying in a parking lot. Like that's where humor hits for me, is like those two things hitting each other. So our like fallacy of our stupid human experience, where we're just like this dumb animal that like feels things, and they are true on some level, meeting our belief system that is like so ingrained to like help us make our way through this like little world that we're like, imagining. And then when it hits something where it's like, no, that's not real. I think that's sometimes when great humor happens. And I'd say like when I do the merge, I try to tap into this place where I feel like I just tell myself that I know everything. I feel it all. And I just saw the Argonaut and I read arrogant. And I think arrogance is something I play with.
Oh yeah. That's like, in the Greek, the original Greek word of arrogance, it was like not a negative thing. It was like stamp your freak flag. Yeah.
Oh, cool. That's fun.
Yeah, I know. I got to find that origin.
Yeah, it's bad now, I guess, right?
Yeah.
Arrogance is kind of
and I was talking about manipulation recently. I guess that's bad too.
That's just like
arrogant manipulation.
Yeah, that's just being smart.
Yeah, manipulated. Yeah, right. We got to.
I mean, that's
number
not
45.
honestly. If we're talking humor, is manipulating our perception of what we want it to be. That which sounds ridiculous. I've literally been sitting here like humor. How you guys sounded real smart. I wasn't listening, but you sounded like
you were thinking about your.
I'm like sitting here like, how do I talk about
panicking?
And I'm like humor. If you say that word a lot, it sounds like a dumb thing. Like humor.
It's such a not so comic.
Yeah.
I mean, it's humor. It's I don't know. It's something to me like so hard to define and grasp. And
what do you think is funny?
What do I think is funny personally? I mean, I don't know.
It doesn't have to be
I think that's the thing. Is like everyone finds so many different things funny. It's all.
What have you laughed about in the last?
What
couple
have
days?
I
like,
laughed
what really
about?
Get a
Man,
kick out
my mom's been in town recently, and I laugh a lot with my mom.
Yeah, me too.
That's so nice.
Oh,
well, and no, and a lot of it is. Don't get me wrong, and don't pay me that good. Like,
right.
She'll just get like I was sitting out. I was just sitting out.
That's great.
Her girlfriend was with her, and beautiful sunset last night, and they both had their phones, like taking pictures of like trying to get the palm tree with the sun. Like in the picture, and they're both like taking it so seriously, and they're both like, and they're like, using their phones, and there's 3 people standing right next to each other taking the same damn picture, like, but they're all so concerned. I laughed at that.
Mothers are funny.
I just referred to your mom as adults, as if we are not adults.
No, we're not adults.
Oh, yeah, no, I feel like we're still kids.
Endless.
I really I've always laughed with my mother, and I one time was bragging to one of my buddies when I was a kid. I was like, my mom was laughing so hard at something I said the other day, and he's like, every mother thinks his son is hilarious.
What a wise and mean child that one was.
And that's not true because because I have 3 sisters as well, and I have sisters that are funny as can be, but they are not trying to be funny. There's the difference too.
My sisters
it's like when people are funny, because anything can be funny, the most serious thing. But when you're trying to be funny and then you're actually funny, that's when it's difficult. It's like,
that is true.
And that's what we're doing is getting up on stage. When you get up on stage as a comedian in any form, improv, you get away with it a little more because it's like, oh, they're making it up. It doesn't have to be that funny. They didn't think of this. But when you're up there, it's like, all right, I'm going to be funny now.
And we come on with a conceit like, we got a great show for you, even though we are totally making it up. So that conceit is always there, as if we prepared. Spoiler alert, no. Sometimes
a couple things you do, right?
Yeah. Some things are bits, some things are spontaneous. But I just had this guy Phil Burgess, who's also a fantastic teacher. Ian and I were just
Phil Burgers.
Yeah.
Burgers.
Yeah. I made it better.
Phil Burger.
Burger.
Yeah.
So many listening might know him. He said something really important to me that sticks with me as I fall asleep at night, troubled and afraid.
Yeah, but you think of that's
well, I'm lying next to Sean, my arms, or Sean's arms are around me. I'm the little
I don't
spin
like that
with the pillows.
I don't feel good about this for Sean. Yeah.
This whole story.
No.
I
like Phil. I like Phil.
Okay, his words echo in my brain, and they've become my own narrative. And he told me, you, Lucia, are funny. Your comedy,
Yeah.
So I think that's a huge thing. Like going back to just being a person is funny when we try to do things that are funny. Oftentimes, most of the time, not funny.
Yeah, I feel like Ian was just saying about the trying and not trying factor. I feel like a lot of it is the art becoming artless. Like you learn how to do it and then you forget about it, hopefully.
Yeah.
And then try not to try, kind of. You know?
Wow.
And then hopefully you can be funny still.
Yeah, some of the best clowns are the ones that have no performance experience previously, that have not had any structure of like Stanislavski or anything like that.
Oh, totally.
So they come from it so naturally, they're in place. And one of the things I learned and heard early on in my career is like your most lucrative character is always going to be yourself. And no matter what, like you're, you know, even if you're doing more character actor stuff or whatever, but the best role you'll ever get is yourself.
And I'd say, Ian, your
yourself.
brand is, as John would say,
What
you got a whole brand.
A brand.
The whole guy and the sandals and the candy. It all
Yeah,
fits so well with your comedy persona.
I read one time I was reading a role, and I was reading with somebody, and I was like, should I play it like stoner? Should I play stoner up? And he was like, Ian, I don't mean to offend you, but anything you read comes off as a stoner. So don't ever worry about trying to stoner it up or anything, because you're a fucking stoner, dude. Don't worry about it.
That's great.
And it's something I struggled with too. You're trying to, because I do smoke a decent amount of pot, but it's also like, I don't know.
You're high right now?
I don't know. Sure, a little bit. But it's something like like anything. Like if you smoke or do something too much. So I was like, I don't want to be known as a stoner for a while. Like I want to be known as being smart and like whatever. And then like it just was like, no. You're gonna be seen as a stoner, and I started embracing it more, than playing with it more.
Yeah.
Like I love like playing. I have 2 kids. 2 beautiful children.
You do?
I do, and they're sitting in the car outside right now, and it's super hot outside.
Yeah, I think we're probably just going to close. Is there something really quick in like one sentence you can each say is like the most ridiculous thing you've ever seen with Idiot Work? Like not a story, but just like one thing, like an event you witnessed. You can go first if you got to like literally.
Doing a show. What was our show called? This is not short. What was our show called? I forget. The Invention of Language.
Oh yeah,
we did something, and I did a piece with John. It was the first time I was like,
you were naked,
butt naked on stage.
I saw it actually.
And this piece that we ended up coming up with, it was the stupidest.
Up,
and it was like a piece of cardboard that I played like we were trying to cover my wiener with it, and it would just pop out once in a while, but I'd be mortified. And to be honest, the first time I was doing it, I was mortified. Like showing people my like tucking it and doing the mangina is like, okay, whatever. But when you're like, and I was jumping up and down and squatting and but
were you
the
getting
audience,
some shrinkage too?
Like after, the theater was cold. Like it was like, but the audience was, it was an experience I haven't experienced much in the last we're
trying to get
10 years.
We're trying to bring
performing.
that show over. I mean, I keep asking Tim about that show.
Yeah,
that's a combination. That was like an arty show.
It was and it was more well devised. I mean, Gilkey can make some real simples. The Invention of Language. He's had some shows that are just so well thought out. And they take this work of like craziness and put it into a form somehow, which I don't know how he does that. But
awesome.
But no, that experience was out of this world, and Gilkey was like, he's just so goddamn smart. He knew what he was doing, and
he changed a lot for me. That Simple Samples was my very first curation here, and it for me is like somebody who's trying to envision how to like change a venue. That Wet The Hippo has changed, like lit something up here that changed the way that the venue felt. Which is awesome. Isn't that awesome?
That's awesome.
That's the thing. It's like
Super cool.
it's like people change spaces. What happens in spaces changes them.
Oh, totally. Yeah. Anything ridiculous that you've seen or done or?
Yeah, I mean, I guess if I were to say something I saw through Idiot Work that stuck with me was when Chad Damiani very genuinely broke up with his very nice girlfriend on stage.
And
was that real?
It wasn't real, but it felt really
so scary.
And she was real mortified because she had just been dropped by Sethward. These are 2 things that shouldn't happen. This is like a playbook of don't do these things again. Sethward dropped her from a chair. She was injured. Then he sees his poor injured girlfriend, and then he gives a very logical, very genuine assessment of why he is now going to break up with her in front of a group of people. And then they leave, and then at the end, he tried to come back and propose, but it was awful, and it left a horrible taste in my mouth.
And Sean, you did something like that on stage once that my mom remembers.
Oh, well, really?
Yeah, where you were someone wanted to ask you out on a date, wasn't that
Oh,
you?
right. So yeah,
And it was it was just heart wrenching and like real, and you didn't know what was
Wait,
real
I might
and
have
what was
been there
fake.
for that. Was that at Lyric?
No, it
No,
was
this
at
is
the
a
clubhouse.
Clubhouse.
Oh,
yeah.
fuck, I
was
didn't see it. No.
A while back. It was like last summer when
Yeah, but boy,
John and the Simple Symbols had gone to Edinburgh, and it was Carla Garcia who did ask me out, and I politely declined. Or
Oh shit!
it
Now
was
you're
real,
blasting
man.
her.
This is real. This was so good.
and so we got called up on stage at Emerge. Chad called us out.
Yeah.
And then the whole story just kind of unfolded on stage in front of
So
everybody.
real.
And
It was so
Yeah,
real.
I've
and
seen
it's-
moments like this, and I even get
Yeah.
uncomfortable too. I mean, like, yeah,
I love that though.
Yeah.
I love that.
I
Or like-
forgot that might happen tonight and tomorrow night.
Or
with
like
this
when
shit. Yeah.
when like Seth Ward was recently broken up with, and he hadn't talked about it with people, and then here
John
at your
Wyatt
show-
brought it up.
Yeah, and then
my
and then-
least favorite part of the show, except like amazing because we remember it.
Yeah, and also
and
like,
he was very vulnerable. Yeah,
oh,
yeah.
so beautiful, so
Yeah.
vulnerable. Like I think that's what I kind of mean about that zone state where, of course, it happens. Everything comes out because it's like
Oof.
you can't hide it. It's gonna happen.
Oh,
and honestly,
man.
like as a performer, after that specific moment with Carla, there became like I immediately after felt like, oh, I could do anything on stage with this woman and feel completely safe and comfortable because we had gone to that place,
Yeah.
because we had gone to that
and the
deep,
connection. Oh, it was-
connected place, and we talked about, it like came out in front of a bunch of people, and the crowd went wild in some moments and was like, ooh, in others.
Yeah.
But like
Ugh.
it was just such a like I absolutely could. I feel like I could do anything with Carla on stage.
And I remember that. I'll remember that forever. Like that
Wow,
moment.
yeah?
My
Wow.
mom talks about that. That's incredible. My mom was at that show for whatever reason.
Oh, wow.
And she brings that
That's
up. It was because it was like,
awesome.
and it was because
That's
it's
so
something
funny.
like you
That's
said.
weird. Yeah, yeah,
it
my
might be the
mother remembers
shittiest.
it.
She might have been
Yeah.
like, this was awful. This poor guy and this poor girl had to go up, and and maybe it is, but holy cow, do you remember that? And does that stick with you?
I was talking to my mother today. She remembered something Margot said at the last Merge show where she's like, I've hurt many men. I've broke their hearts. And my mom was like, I remember that from 6 months ago. And I'm like, all right.
It's a realness happens. I also say that Sean and I had like a look during one of his shows where he knew that we were going to date.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
Where she had brought a date to this show.
It was like a first date.
And when we like were introduced, like, ladies and gentlemen, Deep Squeeze, and we come out, and
she was in the audience.
yeah,
Right.
yeah, she was in the audience, and I came out in my idiot state, and I looked at her, and she gave me this look back, and I was just
Ooh.
like, oh, this is on.
Yeah. Just at that moment.
Even as an idiot.
And then he did this bit
Yeah, he's
about
very charming on
yeah,
stage.
he did
Yeah.
this whole sweet
Oh,
bit
you're
about
making
like
it.
couple
Come
stuff,
on,
and I was like,
man.
oh, it's cute, and then he danced.
Yeah. Yeah,
I think it might have been the sexy gyrating.
Just eat
I
Sean
don't know.
up.
Like, what's exciting about tonight we have the Lady Idiots, and tomorrow night we have Deep Squeeze and the Merge.
You got
Yeah.
a lot.
There's a lot
dumb
of
shit
idiot work
coming
this
at you.
weekend, so like it's gonna be the best of the best, and maybe some really uncomfortable moments too.
Yeah.
So I'm looking forward
Hopefully.
to it. Thank you guys. This is so great.
thank you.
I
Pleasure.
I hope we can just talk about this stuff all the time.
Me
Love
too.
it.
Yeah.
Next time I won't bring my kids in the car
Yeah,
so I
they're
can stay
heating.
longer.
They're hot.
I cracked the windows, so it's fine. And my dog's in there to protect them. And he's got a water bowl, so if they really need water, they'll be fine.
I imagine people
This is
will
where
break.
kids learn things.
Yeah, I feel like people would break windows over the dog first.
Yeah.
No, I haven't fed my dog, so he's super aggressive right now.
Oh my god. Well, guys, I'm looking forward to it. A little nervous for this weekend. But
should
let's
be.
do it. Let's do
You
it.
should be.
All right,
Oh,
great.
so
Thanks,
excited.
guys.
Thanks,
Thank
Josh.
you.
This has been Electric Lodge Presents Notes from the Underground with Josh Berkowitz. We hope you enjoyed and tune in next time. Recorded live from Soul Journey Studios in Venice Beach, California.